Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jade. If you're new, welcome. Today's video is going to be about MCAT stuff, some logistics, tips, study resources, all of that. Let me just say that I avoided making an MCAT video because I didn't feel qualified to do so. You guys know that I had to take it multiple times, and the score that I did get that finally got me into medical school wasn't stellar. So I'm gonna say that this is not one of those I studied for 2 weeks and got a 528 on the MCAT. This ain't that video, okay? This is a comeback kid underdog video on how I finally turned things around and got the score that I needed to get into medical school. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Actually going to be a series. The first part of the series, I'm just going to go over logistics with you guys about the test and some things I wish I knew before taking the test. I'm going to talk about which resources are that I think are the best. The first thing that we're going to talk about, I know you thought I was going to say subscribe to my channel. Yes, subscribe to my channel. But in all seriousness, the first thing that I want to talk about, the first thing that I wish I knew before even starting an MCAT journey, was the AAMC's fee assistance program. Okay, if you're a struggling, aspiring doctor like I was and still am, you should definitely look into the fee assistance program. So AAMC's fee assistance program does a few things. It is for people who are trying to get into medical school and are having financial difficulties. So I didn't do it the first time that I applied to medical school because I didn't think I was qualified. But when it came down to sending in secondaries and paying my light bill, I realized I was qualified. So if you are struggling financially, please look into that. What they do, they pay for a portion of your MCAT fee. So I ended up only paying about $100 and something versus $300 something. They also, the best part, well, okay, all of it's good, but the best part is you get free AAMC study materials for the MCAT. They give it to you for free. They give you an AAMC bundle for free. And they also, when it's time for you to apply to medical school, they pay for about 14 or 16 schools. So you can apply to 14 or 16 schools free of charge if you get the fee assistance program. Anyone that has applied to medical school knows that it is expensive. You have to pay a baseline fee for just the regular application. And then you have to pay money to send secondaries to schools if you get them. And if you're applying to a lot of schools, that can add up. Then you have to factor in traveling costs, housing, attire for interview days, all that stuff. So please, y'all, please look into it. If you need it, it will make all the difference. The next thing I want to talk about is logistics. I went to a college with a group of other medical students, and we did this Q&A panel for the students at the school. I was shocked to find out that seniors in college and juniors in college that were trying to become doctors didn't know the timeline of applying to medical school, of taking the MCAT. When you apply to medical school, you apply the year in advance before you would start. So the process takes a very long time. You want to start your process about a year and a half-ish before you plan to start. And then if you don't get accepted, that's a very long time for you to wait. So educate yourself on the process, the application process. I'm not going to go into that in this video. It's all on AAMC's website, but please do that so you're not missing any deadlines. And the same thing goes for the MCAT. The MCAT is not a test that you can just sign up for. You have to wait until they open it for registration, and then you have to wait. You may have to wait in line. Like the second time I took it, I had to wait in line behind about 600 people before I could, fully register, pay my fee, pick my seat, and all that stuff. You want to do it as soon as possible, because what's going to happen is the testing date or site that you want may run out of seats, and you may have to go to a different testing facility in a different state or somewhere that's far away because you didn't register on time. Another thing I want to talk about is pushing back test dates. I was advised to never void a test and never push back your test date unless you are not getting better. It's very expensive to push back test dates. And this is not a test. You guys have been telling me like how overwhelming it is, and I get it. That's true. That's not gonna go away. You're not gonna feel like you know everything on the test. So do the best that you can. Make sure that your scores, whatever practice materials you're using, that your scores are increasing. If you keep getting below and you're not hitting the mark that you want, then maybe you do need to take some more time to study. But don't feel obligated to push your test back because you're not getting a 5.15 on all of your practice tests. AAMC also has an MCAT guide, so everything that you need to know is in there. So educate yourself on that. So after you get all that stuff out of the way, we're going to talk about how to approach the MCAT. The very first thing that you want to do is take a full-length practice test. AAMC offers these. I think they may, when I took it, it was $25 to take the practice test, but I think they may be offering the first one free. I'm not sure, but definitely want to take a full-length practice test. That's going to show you where your strengths and your weaknesses are. From there, you are going to make a schedule. You need a schedule and a plan to be successful with the MCAT. The last time I took the MCAT was in the summer of 2018, and I started studying for it in the spring semester of 2018. I used this, I think it comes from Kaplan. I'm gonna put a picture up because y'all probably can't see it. But I use this, it has all the topics on the MCAT outlined by subject. And so every week I would go through those topics. I would use the resources that I'm gonna tell you guys about after this. I would use those resources to go through and either review or learn this stuff for the first time. And then I would test myself on it. I did that while I was in school. So this is my school schedule. I'm also gonna post a picture of this. This is my school schedule during my spring semester at MC. I did this when I was in grad school. It has work on here, but I worked for like 2 weeks and then I quit because I was like, I can't do this. I gotta focus on school. Work is why I'm here in the first place. So if you guys want tips about how to make a study schedule or any schedule or how to be effective in that, I can make a video on it. Just let me know. This channel is for y'all, so whatever resources, advice, tips, whatever y'all need, just let me know. After you get your scheduling together, the resources that I recommend you use, the number one resource will be the AAMC practice materials. They write the test. So it makes sense to practice from, practice using their materials. It's not a trap. They're not trying to trick you. They really are trying to help you. They have bundles, question packs, full-length practice tests, flashcards. You can get it in a bundle or you can get the resources separately, whatever you want. But like I said, you may be able to get them free if you apply for the fee assistance program. The next resource I'm gonna say is Khan Academy videos. If you've never heard of Khan Academy, go and sign up. It's free. They have videos on every subject that is on the MCAT, every subject. I would use those videos to help me review because reading something for hours and hours is just, I don't learn it that way, so I need something kind of like interactive. And the videos are like that. They even have practice quizzes and questions at the end of each subject that are really helpful, and it's free. So AAMC, Khan Academy, and the last thing that I would recommend is get a set of books. I have Kaplan books. I've seen other books. Kaplan books are my favorite. They are really dense, but they help. and they're clear. And I would only go to the books when it was something that I just kept getting wrong on my review days. That's when I would really go in there and study. The first 2 times I took the MCAT, I tried to go through the Kaplan books like straight through, and it was just too overwhelming. I never had time to finish all of the stuff, and it was a lot. And I feel like doing it this way will save you time because you're only looking up what you really need. So if I were making a schedule again, I would start with the things that I am weakest at. That's where I needed the most help. Whatever subjects those were from this list, I'll put those at the top. And then my strong points, I would put in the middle and towards the end. Just because you don't want to lose what you're good at. So an example would be, I would do like 2 subjects a day. So I would pair bio and biochemistry together. I would pair physics and general chemistry together, and then organic chemistry and the behavioral sciences together. I might have the digestive system in biology and carbohydrate metabolism for biochemistry. I would set those up in 3 to 4 hour blocks. The first hour I would be reading, watching videos. The second hour I would be kind of summarizing what I learned from those videos, what I learned from the book. And the last hour for that block, I would spend questioning myself and, correcting whatever mistakes I made. And I did that for every single block. So how you organize your blocks are completely, whatever works best for you. But for me, that helped me retain the information longer when I learned it, summarized it, and tested myself on it. Every week, after you have your schedule, every week, pick one day out of the week where you take a full-length practice test. You want to do this every week leading up to your test day. That's a lot of practice tests, but by the time you take the test for real, you can last. You're not tired, you always get tired. It's 8 hours. But it's not as bad if you practice along the way. And also, whenever you are taking these tests, I cannot stress this enough, simulate the actual environment and behaviors that you're going to do for the actual test day. So find a quiet place, no distractions, turn your phone off. For 8 hours a day, just go off the grid. And whatever lunch you're gonna have that lunch. Get a full night's sleep the night before, eat a really good dinner, eat a breakfast that's healthy, that'll keep you energized. Do all of this stuff, get into the habit of doing this so it becomes second nature by the time your test day is actually here. One more thing I want to say about resources. I learned this in grad school. Everyone is going to tell you all of these different things about this resource worked for me, this is what worked for me. You need to find what works for you and stick to it. It is very easy to start seeing someone who is excelling and think, oh, maybe if I use these materials, then I can do that too. That may not work for you. So the best thing that you can do is pick reliable resources and stick to them, because you may fall into the trap of you trying to try out every resource, and when you look up, it's time to take the test and you don't know anything. You haven't studied anything because the whole time you've just been trying out resources. Don't be that person. Pick resources. I picked 3. So I had AAMC practice materials, I had Khan Academy videos, and I had my Kaplan books. Anything outside of that, I wasn't looking at it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss the second part of the series or any more of my videos. So share it with your pre-med friends and all that stuff so we can get into medical school. I will see you guys next time.